So welcome to some random spot in eastern Oklahoma. I think I'm on the very edge of the Ozarks here. A lot of people don't know that the Ozarks aren't just in Missouri and Arkansas, but they kind of bleed over into eastern Oklahoma. It's absolutely a beautiful country. Every time I come through here, I take some new route. I just fall in love with it more and more. It's such a special part of the country. It's low population, small towns, elevation, hills, small mountains, lots of streams. The natural beauty it's the best in the country. One of them. So anyways, while we're here, I want to show you the baby Bigfoot that I picked up about a month ago. I had to go out to Idaho to grab it. And I'll just tell you quickly why this is kind of a special camper. The Bigfoots, and there's a couple other brands, the Northern Lights, they're molded fiberglass, very much like the Scamps and the Burrow pull-behind campers. But most of the Bigfoots are super heavy and super big. They take at least a 3/4 ton truck and sometimes a 1-ton truck, depending on the model, to move them around. But for a couple years back in the mid-90s, the Bigfoot tried and made a baby Bigfoot that was made mostly for the Tacoma and the Ranger. Even though those trucks I think would struggle with this one too, you definitely have to put some lift in the back. I'm going to have to do the same to my Tundra here. It's right at the edge. I actually got some airlift bags that I'm going to install here in a couple days when I get to a friend's house. But yeah, these baby Bigfoots, they're much smaller and lighter. They say they're about 1,200 pounds, but I don't believe it. I think they're more like 1,500. I had to do some fitting on this one. How about if I turn the phone around and I'll give you guys a closer look? Okay, guys. So they call these the baby Bigfoots, or at least I do. I've seen them called that before. There's the Bigfoot and Mr. Bigfoot there. Try to get some perspective on this here, and then we'll go inside. Just kind of on some back road here. We got Wavey, tripping on Wavey here. One thing about okay, where to start here? This is going to be in one take. So, how I tie this down is this is where the jacks go, and I just use boat tie downs to the frame mounts that I've had on this truck for quite a while. And it seems to be working pretty good, but I'm going to point something out here. Wavy, are you trying to trip me? Yes. Okay, you can see how flush the camper is to the bed. You know, most campers stick out a little farther, and when you put them on, you either have the jacks that kind of grab the corners or the mounted jacks like this one has. And I just barely was able to put this on. And in fact, I did scrape up the bed a little bit, just the paint, because the jacks that came with it are just so narrow. Now, the ones in the back are not a big deal because the camper gets mounted before when it hits the cab, if that makes sense. But the front ones, you know, when they bolt up, they kind of stick out about right here, and they just, the Tundra barely clears. Now, I have solved that problem because I got some new jacks off a, excuse me, Facebook Marketplace, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to build an extension that comes out, you know, just to have like a spacer, so it makes the jack stick out in the front here just a little bit farther, and then the bed can clear it. Yeah, but once it's on, it actually fits pretty good, except for it sticks. You know, here's another thing I need to kind of work out here is how do you get in and out of these? I mean, it's always a challenge, right? You got to have a ladder or something like that. Now I'm just using kind of just one of my ladders here for the meantime, but I'm going to either buy or make some kind of ladder that connects right here and comes down, and then when the door's closed, what would be really awesome is if it folded up and it got out of the way, and then you could just kind of grab it when you're stopped and you can fold it down and get in and out of the truck. And I have the tailgate off. It'll go off and on. I can pull the tailgate off and on with it on too, so that's another good part about it. Let's go inside. Okay, this is going to take some remodeling. It's not terrible. I mean, I'm using it for now, but it has this little couch, which has a table that kind of comes up like a little dinette. But the truth is, it's so narrow in here that this configuration just doesn't work very good. So I'm going to redo this couch to my liking. Another thing that I don't know why some idiot did, but when you're standing right here, you would think, okay, here's the refrigerator. It actually has a solar panel on the roof, and it has a charge controller, and it has a deep cycle battery. So this is cool. It's the first time I've ever had like a working fridge that works off of solar, and I love it. I have to get a new thermostat for the heater, but I'll get to that. But you think you're standing right here, right? You know, you're cooking something. Here's the kitchenette. Here's a little sink. I'm actually going to either make a cover for this or just take the sink completely out, because I never use a sink. I don't ever put water in a tank or anything like that. I don't need it. I don't want it. I do love this though, and it works. And this actually works. Fan works. Light works. Got storage. Lots of storage. And a really comfortable bed. I'll tell you what, this is like memory foam. And shoot, I sleep up on this little cuddy really good. One of the most comfortable beds I've ever had. Anyways, back to this fridge. So you think, okay, I'm gonna go open it, right? Nope. Some idiot made it open this way. So now you have to reach. Oh, yeah, it gets in the way. Look, the door gets in the. Oh, I guess you can kind of get it out of the way, but then you do your thing, right? I got food in there too. I got some beer. Yeah. So I got to take this fridge out and change the hinges around so it opens this way. Now, why they didn't do that, I have no idea. I guess I shouldn't ask. So yeah, it's gonna. The fan works on the propane heater, but it doesn't kick out any heat. That's okay. I'm putting a diesel heater in it. And yeah, I mean, for one person, I mean, it's, you know, when I'm filming in here, hardly enough room to change your mind. But like, when you're just one person and a dog, as long as you're not too tall, I'm only 5'10". It would easily accommodate. It's got, you know, 6.5 foot headroom, but you know, if you get much taller, you're going to start ducking around. But if you're just kind of a average, you know, height, size person, this is all you need. And so the coolest thing about it, here, I'll step outside. This is why I went through all the trouble, and I've been looking for one of these for years, and they're really hard to find. I mean, these baby Bigfoots, they made them in 95 and 96, and that's it. And then I guess they didn't have enough market, and they stopped making them. So they're really coveted. But I lucked out after looking for years, you know, just one of the many things I'm kind of looking for. You know, because what I'm doing is I'm trying to, while I have some money, now I don't have a lot of money, but, you know, I save and I live simply, and, you know, I want to, all the things I know I'll always be into, like boating, fishing, camping, scooters, things like that. I mean, I imagine I'll be doing it until I can't do it anymore, until I die. So I want to get the best quality of those things as I can while I can. And that was the reasoning behind the Bigfoot. Now, I paid more for this camper than I've ever paid for any other camper, but here's the thing. I've had a few of these, I've had truck campers. I think I've probably had 3 or 4 in my life, and they always leak. They just, if anyone ever tells you their truck camper doesn't leak, you know, they're either lying to you or it's just hadn't started leaking yet. And theoretically, even the Bigfoots will leak because there any, you know, sort of hatch or vent on the top. Anytime you put a hole in the roof of anything, you know, it's going to eventually start leaking on you. And this one does have, you know, it has the vent for the refrigerator, and it has a escape hatch out the cab over. Those aren't leaking. As far as I can tell, they've never leaked, but you know, everything will leak eventually. But that said, these campers are built super tough. Now, they're made in Canada, and they, you know, so cold weather climate, and they're thick. I mean, this thing is a tank. And it's got insulation. Here's the seam. So it's a 2-piece camper, and when they put them together, they go in 2 pieces, and the seam is along the sides. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is they don't leak like the conventional stick and metal ones do. And there's no wood inside really to rot, so it's like, it's a quality camper. This one is, what is this, 25 years old now, and it can use some cleaning up and it can use a little updating, but it's still as rock solid as the day it was made. And they're fairly light for what they are, and I'm stoked. So, yeah, I found myself a baby Bigfoot. It's the only one I've ever seen in real life. I've seen them online, and people usually put them on Tacomas, and it would fit a Tacoma really good. You have to beef up the suspension, but it'd probably be a better fit. But I have the Tundra, and I like to do towing more than the Tacoma would handle. So I think this is going to be a good fit with some modifications. It'll happen slowly. I'll update you guys on them as they go if you're interested. Everything in my life kind of happens slowly because I got so many projects and very little time and even less money. So, but yeah. Okay, guys. Hopefully that was a nice little tour of the baby Bigfoot here. And you guys got any questions? Put it in the comments below, and I will answer them. I read all of the comments. I used to reply to all of them, and sometimes I try. You know, if there's just a few on a video or something, but I can't reply to all of them. But I do read them all, and I appreciate you guys leaving comments, and give me a thumbs up if you want, or give me a thumbs down. Because the thing is, YouTube doesn't really care. All it sees is interaction, and the algorithm just promotes your video regardless. So if you hate me, give me a thumbs down. If you love me, give me a thumbs up. If you like the Beagle, give me a thumbs up. If you hate the Beagle, give her a thumbs down. And it's all the same to her. Okay, guys. Well, I love you guys, and I give you guys a thumbs up. Okay, let's head to Louisiana. I got some more treats for you real soon.